Hey, favored ones, welcome back after this long weekend. And there's a lot to go over. I have had a lot of downloads come through and intuitive nudges. So, this is everything I have, including the new Oracle deck that I have here. And inside it says You Are Magic. So, before anything, I just want to pop that in there from Adriana's the Herb Astrology Oracle here. So this is going to be super exciting to go along with everything else I have so far. So I feel I had the song I Don't Give a Damn About My Bad Reputation. So that's coming to mind, and I feel like that's going to be the title, and the fact that you're stepping into leadership. So I don't give a damn about my bad reputation in total, like any reputation. You're just not giving any F's about it. I also feel like that's involved with, like, some of you may be mourning the loss from Steve from Smash Mouth, and like Shrek is love, Shrek is life, and type of confirmation. Yeah, so I have that as you're not really caring what anyone says anymore. And for those who are mad at you for feeling like you somehow dampened their reputation by telling the truth, you're just not caring about that guilt tripping and manipulation anymore. And it could involve a child that you take care of, or an animal as well. And you're just not, you're releasing that. You're just not taking that from your family or the work environment anymore. And some of you are learning that you are slowly outgrowing the environment that you're in. So you're stepping into more of a leadership role in order to learn as much as you can in this environment before you move over to the next one. So I've picked out the aventurine crystal here, which is for the thyroid gland and nervous system. So some of you may have nerve damage or working with psoriasis, because that's attached to the nervous system. It balances blood pressure and stimulates metabolism and lowers cholesterol. One of the things I use is like watermelon and pumpkin seeds and the zucchini family. Thanks Nene from over at Nene in the building. That was some of the other half of the suggestion, because I was already doing pumpkin seeds and watermelon, but yeah, definitely the zucchini family as well can help. And I've been eating a lot of spinach, so if anyone is into holistic healing, then you may. If not, then you're welcome to do like UVB treatments and other injections and stuff. If you go to a specialist, I'm sure they will help you to the best of what your body knows is right for you, for those who are dealing with that. There's also a lot of like spiritual in-depths that you can go with as well, and fear of not being seen is another thing that I've heard as well. So it's all about what you believe and what you deem on your own path. Use your own discernment. These are just all the different things I've found looking into it, and everyone gets to choose their own healing journey. And it's anti-inflammatory, eases skin erupts, allergies, and migraines, and the lungs and sinuses and heart. So that's what I have for aventurine, as well as it's for abundance and traveling in the heart chakra. So there's that as well. So maybe we're healing your heart right now. that could be emotionally, or you could literally be healing your heart. Some of you could have had a heart attack or known someone who had one, who's slowly starting to make your recovery now. And you're starting to not care about what people think of you as like how you want to raise your parents. Some people may not approve of the way you raise your kids. Maybe they feel you're too lenient, or that because you like to wind down on weekends and partake, or whatever, say whatever they want to say. You drink too much energy drinks, or you're whatever. The mom shaming is and dad shaming is lame, unless like your kids are telling you that you have a problem. But other parents, like, especially if you're not hurting them, a gentle parenting, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want to. So here we go. Another thing that was coming to mind was the song from Dirty Dancing, Having the Time of Your Life. But when I was hearing the song, it didn't show me from the movie. It was showing me the movie from Ghost. So with Patrick Swayze, so that I was kind of thrown for a loop for that, until I realized that someone may have had a loved one pass on, and someone could feel like with Smash Mouth, like you lost a brother in a band, because they definitely probably feel like they lost their brother in a band, but also a loved one with that ghost reference. You could have lost a loved one and you're dancing about it, or at least like going and trying hang out with friends and stuff in order to keep their memory alive, and like or doing like meditations of like releasing energy from the body, and like doing the wiggle, the wet noodle, just wet noodling everywhere. But yeah, and I'm getting center stage, the dancing class. So someone maybe doing a dancing class or singing lessons, or just moving on to the next stage of learning. As I said earlier, with the example of moving up into a management position and learning how to delegate schedules, do hiring, what to do when things go not according to plan, or a shipment is late, or a piece of machinery goes kaputs, and how to deal with that before you want to take on your own business. And it doesn't mean that you're not ambitious, you're just waiting for the right time to strike. I'm feeling like the movie Quest for Camelot. Some of you may enjoy stories from Avalon in regards to King Arthur and Bran the Blessed, and all of those other wonderful stories and characters and deities and fairies and all that good with Merlin and stuff. But as I'm referring to inside of the movie with Kaylee and Garrett, and he's teaching her that, inside of the forest, that you're supposed to wait for the right time to strike. And I feel like you've mastered it, because they're not showing me the scene at the beginning, but they're showing me the scene at the end where it's mastered. And I'm not going to give you too much, but yeah, it's about the right moment and taking that time to breathe. And I feel like it's that time to strike now. I feel like you've grown as the collective, and I'm gonna ask the decks in regards to it. I also had the one of those toys where it looks like an expanding and contracting molecule almost. And it reminded me of Bionics and Connects and those racetrack cars with the electric remotes. Um, that might be symbolic somehow. Some of you might enjoy old time toys or are finally indulging in your inner child and getting all the toys or game hand systems or even gaming consoles, building that master computer that you've always wanted with the LED lights. And some of you could be getting LED lights. That's super cool. And traveling, because I'm getting my globe over there, it caught my eye. So I feel like a lot of you are indulging in that play and expanding. Yeah, your molecules are expanding. You're being cleaner than you ever have been now. And you're looking towards cutting off that which isn't serving you. And before I started the reading, I have this that I hang up around my house, and it's steering your own ship. You have sailed many rough seas, and you are a great sailor, and you know how to spot things ahead of time and like totally like be like, you know, it's time to take down the sails, let's drift over. I'm getting an image of like Alice from Through the Looking Glass when she completely wrecks those ships and like goes around the rocks like a pro. But this one is actually a kaleidoscope, if you can see all of the cool colors in there. But yeah, yeah, a lot of you bring color into the situation. And some of you may enjoy old maps and old tales and want to go on an air balloon, going to new heights and new adventures and chartering new seas for yourself. And you've realized that you know these seas. You want to charter new ones. Okay. Some of you could work with expanding people's molecules or healing them really quickly through acupuncture or pressure points, through energy exchange healings or tapping. Tapping into their past lives and healing them even. But yeah, with this also, I wanted to tell the story of like you're steering your own ship now, and it reminds me of back a long time ago when like 7 years or something back, I went to group therapy for people who were in abusive relationship with someone else that I knew, and but mine had already died, but I had never gone, so I went with them for support, and they were talking about, it was also 3 months into my sobriety, so some of you may be like in 3 months or 3 years or something of threes or a very long time in your sobriety. Like I said at the beginning, some maybe have a big number. Congratulations for choosing you, and for those who are still in that, then I still support you and thank you for being here, and I know that you can figure it out just as much as anyone else. You can. I know it is always because you are hurting and not because of your character. It's your actions that your character. That's escapism. And usually what you're escaping usually is that you need help. So For those who are in it, regardless, the story wasn't meant to be fully focused on that. For all of you who have and had, congratulations if you're part of the 2%. For those who are fighting, I stand by you. I would, I do, I have. Every day. No one escapes it. It's just every day you're constantly in recovery, and I don't want this to be the main focus. I'm sorry if I'm triggering you. I feel like it needs to be normalized so we don't feel so alone too either, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, is because I know it's a very important subject. Some of you may be therapists in regards to that, some of you may work inside of that, or some of you may lost someone because of it, and it's hard. It's hard, especially if you don't get closure, and I just want to sit here with you for a moment because you may need a friend. Okay? It's okay to cry. It's okay to miss them. It's okay to take care of yourself. Because I believe inside everyone is a good person, and I think that we all can reach that person, and we deserve to. Inside of therapy, they gave the analogy of, are you driving your own bus? And some days you allow people onto your bus and you realize they're not being nice to your bus, and they're not taking care, they're not being polite, they're littering, they're swearing, they're not being very nice, so you let them off. And at some point, it's like, do you feel like someone else might be driving your bus? And it's like, at that moment, you gotta decide, are you driving that bus? Are you gonna allow these people on? Are you gonna kick them off at the nearest stop? And a lot of you people inside of this collect, a lot of my favorite ones are kicking the people off of the bus. And yeah, and finding new people to bring on that bus. Some of you may work with party buses or something like that, or work with just travel on the bus a lot as well. But yeah, I'm getting that a lot of you are steering your own ship. You are piloting your own plane. You are doing it all. You're a jack of all trades and a master of some. I feel I did it one of that time, and back in the day I did a video on that title, so that's a throwback. Some of you may be a throwback and are coming back to the scene, so you may have took a break to work on yourself, and that's totally okay. I took a hiatus for 5 years before I came back out of my shell, and that's perfectly fine. Some people may be talking about your reputation, and it could be a while, and they might not even know you anymore. Like, not the current, current you. They don't even know you anymore. They don't even go to this ocean. Yeah, I feel like there could be a lot of mean girl energy directed at you, whether this is like guys or not. Just like very like cliche-ness about it, and it's just, you're not dealing with it anymore. Some people may feel like your glow up is fake, or that you may have gone into recovery a lot of times, and now they just might not believe that this is the final time that you actually figured out the recipe to taking care of yourself and finding sobriety. And yeah, or that your friends that you hang out with are fake in their sobriety. That seems kind of none of their business. That's the messages that's coming out, so I'm gonna leave that there for you, whoever that message was for. And I'm gonna get on to the cards because I really want to see what these are. 2020. Yeah, you could have started this in around 2020. You could have lost a lot of people for speaking your truth around that time with what was going on. And now you're trying to get back to what you were developing at that time. A lot of you could have lost it to fires. And bad investments. Been there. There we go. That's trying to shuffle them so much from being in like order. Two, 1, 1, 2 is on the clock. You could be seeing mirroring numbers, or you're mirroring with a person. You could be finding a counterpart, whether that's or just a very deep connection. It could be friends, intimate, business partner, but I feel like they'll just get you, even though it would seem like a not so obvious like answer, or like you know, when there's like that rainbow person and then there's the like very much shades and dark colors. I feel like that it'll be like opposites attract kind of energy, and you'll balance each other out and you'll be able to grow from each other. I'm getting Grace and Frankie, the TV show where they like grew from each other from common thing happening in their lives, and they grew with each other from it. So I feel like you've created a community, a crew, a duo, a coven, what have you, just a group, a following online even, that really connects with you on, you know, on that soul level, on a relatable feeling. And that's why people want to tune in, and why they want to come over and join in, is because you're on a relatable level, because you've had close to the same life experiences, you have like-mindedness, and it's just their time for you to you've resonated that out there for what you wanted for yourself. And it's 23:23 on the clock. That could be important to you. 5-5, big changes. And yes, this one here. So yeah, number 23, milk thistle, and number 53, dandelion. Again, that TikTok song, I'm in a field of dandelions, wishing that you would be mine. I got Sagittarius energy here, moon energy. So yeah, milk thistle could be important to you. It opens up and decalcifies your pineal gland. You could be working on that. You could be doing liquid crystals, because of the literal dropping of the, it looks like. I'm hearing honey badger, don't mind, because you literally just don't, you just don't give, you just don't give any. So it's giving me like earth energy right here. Revealing truth, so you're decalcifying the collective and letting them know the truth, So your droplets of knowledge is leaving behind the wisdom that you've gained. You've gained your stars. Could be an important message for you. I'm also seeing that that's like you're at that third stage of the Eight of Pentacles, so Three of Pentacles, collaborations, yes, a stream of networks of collaborations because of the Three of Stars, and Three of Pentacles is about collaborations. Wedding could be coming up. You could be been worried about an event, a festival, a concert, or a wedding going the way you planned, and it seems like everything's just dropping into place. The universe is really conspiring in your favor, and in the beginning it wasn't kind of noticeable. You would notice a thing going right for you here and there in the background, little pieces of the universe just moving things into place for you so that they work out. And then all of a sudden here it's like, here's the manifestations, here's the abundance, here it is in the physical now. It was in the spiritual, it was that inkling, that little feeling in the background, and you knew, your inner knowing, and you waited around and you knew and you collaborated and you had faith and in your manifestations and in your hard work, even because the Eight of Pentacles is all about your dedication and your hard work. So you did the hard work, and now it's showing and it's paying off, and it's getting that shrink and like bits of more showing in your progress, that tangible progress, that Page of Pentacles, thinking your tangible progress, and it's beautiful. Milk thistles, I hear it's very good for tea as well, and I know it's for remembering dreams, I believe is. I'm sure it will say in the book once we crack that open. But yeah, some of you could be working with Metatron with his symbol here. And Sagittarius symbols and Chiron. Yeah, Chiron, and this is Jupiter's energy as well. It's like you have the key to your own rainbow. You were affordable. You were an affordable healer. Okay? People think you're gonna be down for the count, and you're just there like, I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no bells. Some of you can really enjoy cartoon, Adult Swim, and MF Doom. Bob's Burgers, and Futurama. I'm really getting, and like Spider-Verse, and like all those other like animated DC movies, like the Son of Batman, and I love all those. But yeah, before I get too deep in the nerd, I'm gonna get back to being affordable healer. And you are a wounded healer, but you're a peaceful warrior. You realize that you have become harmless in your journey of not giving a damn, yo. Because you used to get pulled out of your seat every little thing. You would feel like you needed to defend your honor because you were left without nobody to defend you before, but now you're realizing that some people are just doing it because they want to be entertained, not because they know who you are. They see it. They very much know it. They see who you are. And like they know. Some of them know you're a good parent. You're very nurturing. Some people may be mad that you nurse your child, and the way you nurse your child, the way you feed your child. Hold up. Brush that energy away. No. See, yeah. See, you're like, feeding my child how, and you handle yourself, and you handle yourself. You know, you got the, you know, like, you are Sway in the morning, because Sway did have the answers. You know, if he's like, Sway, you ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answer. He did. He had the answer. Sway had the answers, and I feel like people are starting to realize, like, before people were like, Sway has got the answers because someone popular said so, but now, you know, people are gonna be like, no, it's Sway. Sway did have the answers, and you do. You have an answer for everything. You got a backup plan for your backup plan for your backup plan. But I feel like the universe wants to let things unfold in naturally, and your wishes come true, and just you know, slow down a little bit and like nurture your own self, because I feel like you're nurturing others constantly, but you should nurture your own garden. Some of you really are working on nurturing your own garden and your own dreams, working with geometric symbols. Some of you could be work with the meta, or work on meta with whatever it's called now with Facebook. Yeah, some of you are feeling dissatisfied because I'm getting, oh no, I can't get no satisfaction. And I'm feeling like some of you may be overworking. Like some people are dissatisfied with the way you heal yourself. Because you won't let them walk all over you anymore and tell you that you aren't useful, that you're nothing but a weed. You're nothing but a weed. Even though this is considered extremely useful for medicines, and a lot of people use it to make teas, and it's really good for healing, and it's so affordable. But yeah, and it's also saying that you always are leveling up. You got a new level up, constantly going, because you're like, you got this thing that you're working on, and oh, my inner child needs healing. Oh, but the way I talk to myself, others needs healing too, and the way I look at food, and the way I'm like, the fear of success or fear of failure, focusing on the fact that you have so many dreams at once, and you can accomplish all your dreams. There's enough time. The other thing about the 3 stars in a row is reminding me of the Orion's belt, and the guys, periods, pyramids, periods. So you could be having your period and using some turmeric and rosemary. Yeah, will help. It's an old holistic tricks, or medicines, not tricks. Tips is what I wanted to say. Some people may feel like you trick people with the way you heal, and that's unfortunate and unfair. Unfortunate for them and unfair for you, as everyone has their own different way. And even in science, they say that placebo is very common in taking effect. So why would you want to take away that possibility from people? I feel like had dealt with people who just don't want the possibility. Like, they can't even see the possibility of things. So if they can't even see the possibility of it, then they just don't. And they won't recognize it out of you either. There's a lot of different pyramids. I know in Canada, Edmonton, they have the pyramids with trees and plants inside of them. So going there could be a fun trip for you. They say that there's a fourth one with stuff underneath it, though. So some of you could be into conspiracies. And speak your truth about that, being a peaceful warrior and a wounded healer, because you're healing this earth even through your own wounds, and healing others and learning to become peaceful. Because if you're harmless, that means that you can inflict damage but choose not to. I'm just saying. And danger to society is someone who hasn't learned that control yet. Because like, you're part of a society, and if you're hurting yourself, I think that counts. Orion, Syrians, and blue avians. Yeah, Sirius B energy. Some of you may be poets or rappers. But yeah, some of you may be looking into starseeds and energy of like Iraq and like ancient history from around the world with Yahshua and other teachings. You just, even if you don't believe, you still just enjoy learning ancient knowledge and wisdom. And for those who do believe, you take it extremely seriously, and you're moving towards finding out that there's like a bunch of different formations across the earth that are directly in alignment with the Orion 3 stars, Mr. Belt. Some of you are learning to belt it out. Some of you could be learning how to take better care of your voice with vocal lessons, learning how to do, getting back into your vocal practices for band, and learning to like belch. Like in my other video unboxing this, I kept going re. So that could be important to you. Other two cards that I pulled out here was 47 Skull Cap. Some of you are breaking your mask. Some of you are Scorpios. Saturn. Yeah, Wolfsbane. Some of you could enjoy howling wolves. Learning how to sit in your stillness. Learning how to feel like time isn't running out, as time doesn't exist. I'm getting that from the hourglass there. I feel like you stopped counting the hours. You could have been in a job where you literally felt like you were staring at the clock, counting the hours, counting how many clients were left, counting how many appointments were left, and you don't have that anymore, and you've moved on to where you're feeling excited for training, and you don't have to have as much of a mask of resentment towards people for saying yes to them and no to you anymore. Yes, that's good energy to sit in. Yes, I agree. Let's do this. You have not only taken off the mask, but you have broken that mold so far out of the ballpark that there ain't no going back. No one is gonna know you by that face and by that story anymore. And yeah, the Scorpio, some of you may enjoy the dark cryptic stories and horror movies and stuff like that. I'm getting Penny Dreadful, so very ancient book writers from like the 1700s and horror books, Anne Rice, Joanne Kelleger's, oh, what's her last name? I love her so much. And like, you know, Frankenstein and his monster. Even though he was the monster. Either way, some of you may really enjoy that. I'm getting Dorian Gray, and so you may like the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which leads me like the Invisible Man or the Invisible Woman with the Fantastic Four. These are all things that you could be into at the moment, and this is what your reputation, you might be worried about what your reputation is. If you actually, you know, some of you may feel like the people around you aren't as smart as, like, not everyone, this could be a specific message for someone, you might feel like people might not get you if you write to your fullest potential, and that's okay, they're not meant to. And you might feel like, well, then I won't get a mass following. I'm like, no, they might be. Hello, excuse you. Did you see? Some of you might like jump scaring people. Olympus, that's so very nice. You scared her from pouncing. Yeah, I can see you. So yeah, a lot of you might be getting into your Halloween energy and like watching jump scare movies and getting back into the spooky season, or it might be spooky season for you all year round. So the angels trumpet with death here. A rebirth is happening. Some of you could be starting a grimoire. Some of you could be starting your own altar or like an offering for your for abundance. It also reminds me of Archangel Gabriel. So you could be a water sign, since that's who Archangel Gabriel follows. And I always feel like archangels are like older than like the Bible. So if you're feeling like that, then you might want to rack a book. If you again is thinking I'm moving on to Catholicism, because they're much older than that. As well as like they're probably just aliens too, right? That's what I've heard, and I think it's that makes sense. Angels are just aliens from dimensions, cool, realms, excellent. Angel trumpets, death card. But yeah, there's a message that you are meant to share. It's through your music, through your voice, through your art. Some of you speak a voice of love for those that are unloved, whether that's creatures such as spiders, bats, alligators, and like, I don't know, like megalodons, like super like cryptic things, and I love those stories. And around I'm getting spooky pasta or creepy pasta, spooky pasta, a spooky, creepy, spooky skeletons. Okay, so we have this bat here. Some of you may have like Silver Wing. I think that's the name of the book, but it was about the bats that went like flying. I was like, I think it's called Silver Wing. Some of you may have enjoyed those old style books. You were the one who went to the library and got the non, conventional, and not the one that would normally, take the ones that everyone else was reading. Some of you may be taking out steamy books or reading like naughty stories. Some of you could be going down the rabbit hole, or some of you could be going in the rabbit hole with like Queen Herbie. It's a rabbit hole, and it's like, you can suck my rabbit hole. You're telling some people that you can like literally go suck it. I'm hearing a lot of clairaudient messages. Some of you may really like clairaudience. You could learn through music. Some of you like listen to music to study with. Very helps you focus. Some of you may do readings with music on, and it helps you focus, or you enjoy that because it brings you messages. But I'm hearing follow boys. I don't care. So it's like, I don't care what you think as long as it's about me. The best of us can find happiness in misery. So that's the energy here for that. And yeah, leadership role. You're really taking the lead and into the unknown. People are like, I'm getting Steins Gate energy and like psychopaths and Stargate as well. Some of you could be traveling through different Stargates. And if people are finding who the fairest of them all is because of your energy. Because it's reminding me kind of the mirror from Brothers Grimm's story. Some of you could enjoy Brothers Grimm's story. And the darker and more the darker tales that were there in the first place to heed warning from. I feel like if there's something scary, you learn as much about it as possible, because that's what makes you feel better than hiding away from it. That might not be for all of you, but I feel for a large sum of you, you would rather learn about all these things like ghosts or family, generational curses and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to just say like spiritual stuff. I want to say like psychology stuff as well. Learning how to get rid of generational curses or traumas, whatever you want to call them. And like from learning how to speak up for your truth, not be a people pleaser, learning how to deal with your anger management, cutting people off, not allowing people to be a proverbial punching bag, and like, or learning how to light a 7-day candle, say an affirmation, as Brittany, the intuitive wifey, says, or do an affirmation, or just wish well on yourself. I wish me well. I wish me well, I wish me well, I wish me well, I wish me well. Because you're your own wishing well. We are mostly made out of water. So if we say something, then we are literally echoing in the wishing well as we say that out loud, and it vibrates inside of our chest and all of our water molecules as they expand that into existence. Yeah. It stimulates the metabolism. We have high metabolism, we have a high metabolism, we have a high metabolism, we have a high metabolism. Let's get into reading these out, shall we? Love is what you want it to be. Love is heaven to the lonely. You are heaven to the lonely. And the universe has got love for you. The universe loves you and loves your journey, and it's proud of you for taking it despite everything that, you know, comes with living here on this university of Earth. Learning about it here in the dirt. Okay. Peaceful warrior. Milk thistle. Peaceful warrior, shield, truth keeper, shelter, sanctuary, safekeeping, and justice. Mars and the moon. Yeah. Okay. Native to the Mediterranean, the Greek physician and botanist Dioscorus is the first to write down milk thistle healing properties in the 1st century AD. Milk thistle was a remedy for diseases of melancholy, assisted in the production of breast milk, and acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory for the liver and gallbladder. Milk thistle characteristics: violent fuchsia flower and white veined leaves are said to embody the Virgin Mary's milk. Yes, I was saying with the connection to Camelot, which is like Mary Magdalene was supposed to be connected to the Holy Grail, which is connected to the Fountain of Youth and the King's Arthur and everything else like that. So yeah, definitely connected to the fairy realm and mystical creatures. There's many magical rituals associated with this protective flower. Ooh. Traditionally, flowers were thrown into the fire to deflect lightning, and garments were worn with thistle fibers to protect the wearer from any spells. Dolls, puppets, and magical tools were often stuffed with thistles to break negative, depressive spells, melancholy, and evil hexes. In Europe, witches would make large vats of thistles to call in the spirits. The bowl of thistle in the room is said to revitalize energy, bring strength, and renew the spirit. Thistle is often planted in the entries to warn off thieves or parasitic energies. Milk thistle embodies the spirit of the fierce badger, as it is an aggressive healer known to rid the body of disease, poison, and toxic substance. Many Native American traditions associate badgers' medicine with powerful medicine women, as badgers are some of the greatest protectors of earth medicine. Badgers act quick. You may like enjoy Avatar as well. It's giving me Toth energy, so very like some of you could have eyesight that's going away, or you need glasses, contacts and stuff like that that you wear. That's just an extra confirmation. It doesn't have to be. And very like into wrestling and like championship and like fighting and stuff like that, because at the beginning she like won all of those awards for like fighting and stuff and competitions. Some of you may be going into competitions for martial arts or going up a rank. That may not be for everyone, but that's there. Going up a level on video games as well. Badgers act quickly and efficiently in a crisis. They do not panic. Embodying the primal warrior elements of Mars, badgers fearlessly find the means and the courage to protect what's theirs regardless of the consequences. Milk thistle also falls under the moon's rulership, as it is Galacticos. Galacticizes. Googie. I don't know what that is. It is Galactagogue. There you go. Meaning it assists in milk production, although the assisting the entire gastrointestinal system. So your whole some of you may be dealing with IBS or other stomach issues. That can be confirmation. Okay. Guidance. Milk thistle dispels the damage and destructive thoughts that can induce an endless loop of self-sabotage. Abandon insecurity, gossip, and fear-based protection strategies that enable frustration or a false sense of growth. Do not waste your time trying to control what cannot be controlled. Like a peaceful warrior, set your boundaries firm and fearlessly. Like badger, milk thistle shakes up the system that hinders innovation and halts patterns and behaviors that stunts growth. Know that what you are not changing, you are choosing. So that's milk thistle, number 23. Wait. Hi. Hello. You're silly. Yeah. You got a good singing voice. Yeah, you're my main guy. Yeah, you are. You're my main guy. Yeah. You're so cute. That's Kilimanjaro. He is trying to convince everyone else that they should race up and down the stairs. I bid him good luck. I think they're napping. $46. Angel's trumpet. Death. Upright. Breakdown. Catastrophic transformation. Rising from the ashes. Elimination. Death. Shedding the old. I really feel this shedding the old part. Pluto and Mars. Angel triumphs. You are being triumphant right now. Angel trumpets have the intoxicating scent and flowers that resemble angelic horns aimed downwards, symbolizing the call of the angels to humanity. Plant in the Bergnes, Bergansma, Guinness, and the relatives like Dantras has a rich history of using among shamans and magic practitioners, even though they are poisonous. Some of you may have family members or yourself work at one of those gardens where they keep really dangerous flowers, or you may want to travel there. I'm hearing through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, which brings me to the movie Van Helsing. It's also in the Bible, but whatever. It reminds me of Van Helsing, where the Frankenstein's monster was quoting it as Dracula brought him in, and you are defeating your demon inside, like with Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel again, because in that movie, that's who he is Van Helsing, is Archangel Gabriel. So you have you're balancing both sides. You're not only an archangel, a starseed, chosen one, favored one, whatever have you, a very kind citizen, whatever you want to call yourself. But you also have that take no shit attitude and will defend yourself, and you know how to take down. Because yeah, going through that, not only, that's another time that mirror symbolism for portals has come through. Maybe some of you are covering your like TVs or getting protection to hang over top of your mirrors because of them being portals, or covering your laptops and stuff with like crystals, because it's like when they went through to get to Dracula's castle was through the mirror as well. And I'm also getting the mirror from the Huntsman as well. Some people may have spun a story to keep people apart, and you're learning that story now and coming back together. Anyway, back to the thing. Even though they are poisonous, some South African indigenous groups, like the Kamsa, Javaro, and Nganto, initiate their children at a young age with the path of the Kurandar Gizmo, my brain keeps trying to say Gran Turismo. Some of you may be going to the movies with someone, or going to that movie exactly. Some of you may be going through a change so that you're allowing more fun into your life. Some of you may be going to see the Dracula movie as well. But yeah, Gran Turismo racing games. Some of you maybe want to be a racer, or NASCAR, stuff like that you enjoy, because some of you may have a very fast car or like to go fast. Motorcycles and such. Curanderism, becoming a healer by ingesting angel's trumpet during a flower ceremony. Chavaro boys who walk the shamanic path are given the medicine at the age of 6 to acquire the eternal vision, producing soul that lets them communicate to the ancestors, called Artuma Aryutam Wakani. Boys and their father go to a long pilgrimage to a sacred waterfall where they engage in sacred bathing, fasting, and drinking of tobacco water. Then the angel's trumpet juice is ingested to effect contact with the supernatural. During which the spirit appears as a jaguar and anacondas and enter the boys' bodies. Gerandos, healers within many traditions, incorporate the angel's trumpet into their master plant brews like ayahuasca to enhance astral travel and the spiritual experience. Other cultures around the world, including Tibet, and have also used this important poisonous plant within their practice. Many caution against the thoughtless use of these medicines, which can be severely toxic and cause a kind of strong hallucination and delirium that only experienced shamans should use for divination and healing. So a lot of you may be going into shamanic practices. Some of you may take DMT or do ayahuasca. That do so, responsibly as possible. I know breathing creates its own DMT. If you're doing deep breathing exercises, a lot of you may be trying to get as much respiratory help as possible, especially if you live in the areas where there's a lot of fires going on right now. So a lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, ginseng, as well as turmeric is really good as well. Oh, pickle juice too. Eating pickles and stuff is really good with the vinegar and the garlic together. Skull cap 47. Stillness. Stillness after the storm, letting go of control, trust in life, surrendering to the plan, breaking open. Those who could have post-traumatic stress disorders. Pluto and Saturn. So some of you could work with the underworld deities such as Persephone and Hades, Anubis, Saturn, and yeah, good stuff. Skull caps come from the Latin scultella, meaning a small dish or tray. This describes the shape of the base at the flower, which resembles a miniature skull. I don't see it in the picture, but that's fine. That's fine. In traditional Chinese medicine, the root of the species has been widely used for more than 2,000 years to treat cancer, lung, and respiratory infections. Of course, I picked this one next, even. That's amazing right after I said it, respiratory. That's so cool. I love it when it works out like that. I feel like even though it's nice even though you get more and more experienced with your gifts, I still like the fact that I still get a little tinkle every now and then, because like to not have the childlike wonder and the enthusiasm or the tingliness and the magic of it all, it never gets old. It never gets old, and anyone else wants to try it, it's just so cool when synchronicity happens. I really don't want to say the rest of these ones. Respiratory infections, colds, bacteria, ammonia, liver imbalance, hypertension, insomnia, inflammation, and diarrhea. The Cherokee and other North American tribal peoples use skullcap in ceremony, initiating young girls into womanhood. The Cherokee created decoctions of the root to treat breast pain, menstrual pain, kidney problems, and to stimulate the reproductive system post-birth. The Iroquois used an infusion of the powdered roots to prevent smallpox and to keep the throat clear during the 19th and 20th century. And the electric physicians prescribed skull caps for nervousness, exhaustion, muscular spasms, heart disorders. As I was saying earlier, someone could have had a heart attack. Hysteria. Hysteria. Ooh. That's well, at least they did something else besides just getting them off, eh? Look up treatments for hysteria if you care. Hysteria, uncontrollable muscular tremors and convulsions. So, for those who may have PNES, which is psychological psychosis, neurological, epileptic seizures, non-epileptic seizures. That's it. Yes, non-psychotic, non-epileptic seizures, which is an extreme form of complex PTSD, where the body will put you into a safe system of shutting everything down, and you'll have an epileptic seizure. So you may not have that anymore. I've moved on from that and haven't had one in a while. And those who haven't, this could be something you might want to look into, along with all the other treatments you have with your doctors. 111 on the clock there with 53. So the next one's 53. So we'll see what's on there, because we should really pay attention to that with the 111 for paying attention. That's good. It's nervous system. Spiritually, skull cap is used to bind oaths and to concentrate commitments. It is a useful ally in initiation rituals, imprinting the vows made to oneself or between lovers. Skull cap is ruled by Pluto, and the archetype representing our willpower and our power, which ties to our relationships in our inner authority and leadership. The storm has passed. You are just weathered and are weathering the storm. Grounded deeply into the present moment. If you feel fear, feel consolation in stillness as it readapts. If you feel fear, find consolation in stillness as it readapts. The medicine of the scorpion embodies the stillness of darkness, and it is assisted by the accepting sudden changes with ease and calmness. If you're feeling exhausted, drained, or depleted, this is time to pause and withdraw to your cave. You are in the process of rebuilding after the storm. Don't rush, reflect. Take time to birth the new structure that supports the new version of you. Okay, 153. This is number 53. We're paying attention. Let's see. The wounded healer. Wounds as tools to awaken. Healing journey. Inner child healing. Chiron and Jupiter. The English words for dandelion comes from the French dent de lion, or lion's teeth, referring to the spiky, pointy shape of the plant. The French also call the plant pissenlit or pea the bed due to its diuretic powers. Native Americans use it to treat kidney disease, swelling, skin problems, sunburns, and upset stomachs. Traditional Chinese medicine uses it for stomach problems, appendicitis, breast inflammation, and it assists mothers with breast production. There might be someone who's worried about not making enough milk for their mother, especially with the milk thistle. And some of them may have shamed you for moving up from breast milk to bottle, or that you haven't moved on to powder and you're still using breast milk, and like, you're feeding your child. They should back off. Ooh, that was, sorry. Keep standing within your boundaries, Mama Bear, and feed your child as they are hungry and they deserve to be fed. And everyone else's opinion should be feeding themselves too, so that they're quiet. Put some food in there. So maybe you should focus on your own eating and take a hike. Some people may be, some of you are learning how to heal your inner child from not being able to choose what you eat either, and they may be mad because your kid is a picky kind of eater and fed is best, or people are talking about the way you eat and how you change it up every now and then, and it's like, I'm trying to learn what's best for me, and I'm gonna eat the way I'm going to want to eat, and it shouldn't be a big spectacle. If someone's eating vegan, if someone's not eating vegan anymore, if someone's decided to be a flexitarian, if someone's decided they're going to eat meat until the cows come home and then eat those ones too. It's really up to you and what your body makes. If what you don't feel groggy after, if you don't feel sick after, that's and you're fed and you're satisfied, brilliant. That's the best way. Especially for your kid. Back off and get them. I'm healing. I never said I was healed. I really don't. See, and I was saying the whole time how people weren't getting you out of your seat, but I feel like for your kids, some of you getting out of your seat because you are becoming the parent that you wish you had. And that's a brilliant step to be taking. Absolutely brilliant. Some of you could be from the UK, because I'm saying brilliant, but it sounded British in my head. So you could have ancestors. I'm hearing like third generation from there, and family from there, third or second generation. Mama. Yeah, 3 babies. So you could have 3 animals, or you could be taking care as a foster for parents for either an animal or for actual child. I'm getting volunteering or taking care of small children, therapy, stuff like that, like Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, or like brownies or fairies or whatever it's called nowadays. But like big brother, big sister energy, going and hanging out with your nephews or nieces and stuff like that, your nibblings. In Europe, it was used to reduce fever and treat boils, eye problems, diabetics, and diarrhea. Dandelion is a survivor. It is an extraordinary. It has an extraordinary ability to withstand hardships and thrive in disturbed environments. Dandelion. Some of you may have survived and learned how to thrive in disturbed environments, and some people may feel like acting like you're still that old weed when really you are now this this beautiful and abundant milk thistle. Even though they're both just beautiful and all versions of you deserved it, but your wish is coming true. And they shouldn't be acting like you're still trying to get it out of the mud when you are already like at the finish line almost of your next stage, silly. Finish line of what? Learning to relax, learning how to take new leadership roles. That's where you're at right now. You are almost at the finish line of learning your new role in training into becoming your new leadership, not being a people pleaser, leaving that job, learning how to delegate. Oh, delegation. That's what you're learning. That's the big part of being a leader, is you don't care. You don't give a damn about your reputation. I'm here to lead a nation, whether that nation is my YouTube following, whether that nation is an actual nation by speaking up and being assertive and telling the truth. Being a teacher, being a leader amongst being a host, leading, being a conductor. Some of you may want to be in the lead in the role. Some of you might want a leading role. Some of you might want to be a lead in a theatrical and opera or a production, or you want to be the headliner, okay? And you're getting it. That's what you're on the edge of right now, you know? We're all going viral. Say it with me now. We are going viral. And for those who like ask formations, it's like, why are we going viral? Why is it always I be getting new followers and new people saying my stuff's dope, messaging me how it was relatable? Because we all deserve that. We all deserve to be heard and have our story and help those so that they don't have to go through as much as we did. Why? Because no one should have, and if I can help people go through less and get out of stuff faster, then I will. Where do I sign up? As long as it's not detrimental to myself and my growth and my solidarity that I've worked so hard for, then yeah, let's do this together, because that's honestly why I'm doing this. It was a long time coming of me helping people with my experiences, because there's no reason for me to go through all of that without me making sure that I can see that and witness it and be like, come here, yo man, I'm gonna tell you something I wish I knew, and here you go. And here I am, of here telling y'all my experiences, so that hopefully it can help you feel a little bit less alone and a little bit, less lost, and or if anything, if you just enjoy and this is a safe place for you to be for a little while in this world. That's why I'm here. Compacts the dirt and the earth and grows deep, tapping roots that rejuvenate the soil. And this is what it does to the body and the soul. It assists us in renewing, cleansing, materializing, and adapting. In medical astrology, dandelion is associated with the Sun and Jupiter. It is primarily active herb. It's primarily an alternative herb that is generally restored the proper function of the body, increasing health and vitality. Some of you may be going and shopping at Vitality and taking vitamins, or looking to see what there is. Maybe you're getting into omegas for helping for focus. Udo is a good brand that I know of, but there is like a vegan version of a plant version. Some of you might not like the fish taste because it might give you bad texture in your mouth or whatever. There's a plant oil based one. I usually put like chlorophyll inside of it with it, the minty flavored one, and it's really good, and it can help with the body, revitalize the body as well if you wanted to look at it. I just know there's Vitality Health. You could live near one or shop at one or work at one. And Vitality. Some of you are learning that you are young and that you can heal anything if you put your mind to it. The bitter herb that works on the liver and gallbladder. Chiron is known as the wounded healer, as it is the wise centaur in Greek mythology who gave up his immortality to save Prometheus after he was accidentally pricked by the poison arrow and learned that despite all his magical knowing, he would be in pain forever. He ended up landing among the stars as constellation. Chiron orbits between Saturn and Uranus, symbolically marking the liminal territory between Saturn, the third dimension, and concrete reality, and Uranus, the fifth dimension and the quantum mind, embodying the rainbow bridge between the inner and outer planets. In astrology, Chiron represents our deepest, most tender wounds that are most difficult to heal, and yet it is also marks where we hold our greatest gifts. Guidance. Dandelion is here to remind you that you can thrive regardless of your circumstances. Circumstances is about where you are, not who you are. Take ownership over your wounds. Find gratitude in lessons. Dive deep in the depths of your own origins and use your wounding to further develop the purpose and healing you're here to transmit and transmute. You could be alchemists, learning alchemy, Reiki, reflexology, as well as prana healing. And shamanism, druidness. Transmute and share with the world. Transmuting light code messages, using Reiki hand symbols. Just sharing your healing journey of living in sobriety and encouraging others every day by just being yourself. You don't have to make a big change on the outside to make a big change on the inside. And that, by proxy, will have already made a big change in the world, because everyone, deserves to see a healthy version of themselves. Don't let your pain define your personality, but draw from it for strength and purpose. Like Chiron, you are born from the seed of a higher order and intelligence. Embrace this great healing power you have been given and go beyond the outlined path. Yeah, it's time for you to jump onto another timeline from all that you have known and all of you've recorded so far. So yeah, thank you for coming through for this message, and I look forward to using these cards and tarot oracle cards in the future. And yeah, remember to eat, hydrate, and have fun, and I'd appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe. See you all in the next video. Bye!